Match returns the relative position of any item in an array that matches a specified value in a specified order. That's pretty cool. I could go to text. I could clean up any non-printable characters from a cell that has text in it. Of course, I can go to all. Here they're simply in alphabetical order. And I can do the inverse hyperbolic cosine of a number. Yes, there is mathematical, engineering, financial, database, text, all sorts of different functions that exist in here. Notice as I scroll down, there are tons of these functions. Each one I click on is going to give you a definition of what it does in the syntax you can use. Let's just locate a simple one. I'm going to press I on my keyboard, and from here I can find information, if I get the alphabet correctly. Info returns information about the current operating environment. Okay? Type text specifying the type of information you want returned. Okay, so here I need to say, well, what kind of information am I after? Well, I'm after the release. When I choose OK, it's going to say 12.0. That's the release of Excel that I'm running. It's now called 2007. It's called the release. I could also put OS version in here. Look at that. I'm going to resize this a little bit. You can see that I'm running a Windows 32-bit operating system. Hey, this is just a simple formula, but what I wanted to show you is by using this insert function, it opens up a dialog box. You can find all the different formulas. Some are pretty simple. Some take some time to really understand what variables go inside the formula, but they all have the same syntax, and you can always go to help and it will describe how you're going to make this item work. A lot of the formulas that we have here have to do with text, so I'm going to open up another file that's going to enable us to really work with the text. So our goal here is twofold. We're going to open up a file that just has messy text in it. I said our goal is twofold. A, because you probably can use Excel. You can think of ways in your world to bring in text and modify it quickly and easily. You probably type in here a lot. You might import files from other locations and export them out using Excel as the middle ground. So just by using these formulas, it's a quick, easy way to clean up text. If you have extra spacing, if they're broken apart, if you need to extract just certain pieces of text out of a bigger bunch of text, you can use Excel for that. That's one part of my goal. The second part is that it's going to let you see using these formulas over and over and over again and really how the process works. So the idea is we've got all this ugly text in here that we need to fix up by using some of the text formulas. We imported text, and look at that. It is just a flat-out mess. Some of it's uppercase, some of it's lowercase. So let's fix that. I'll go to my text function area, and what I want to do is make it all lowercase. This will convert all letters to lowercase, or I can make it proper case, which capitalizes the first letter of the sentence. There's an uppercase in there as well. I'll just choose lowercase. It says, great, okay, well, what text? I'll go out here, I'll click in cell A1. Notice it's building my formula, equal lower. Within parentheses is the text I want to make lowercase. I'll expand this box again. It says, hey, this is what it's going to look like. Sounds great to me. I'll choose OK. So now I've got my messy, my base. I've got my new text, which is a formula. So theoretically, you could go through and you could modify all the text, make it look good, and then you could delete this column or delete the areas where the messy text is. That could be a problem, though, couldn't it? Because what happens if you've got a formula based on column A1 and it disappears? That would mess everything up. So the next step is to paste this special as a value instead of a formula. And picture that you might have many, many more pieces of text. Paste special is how you can do this. So I'll right-click. I will choose copy. I'm just going to choose this location to paste it. When I right-click again, I've got paste special and paste as an option. Pasting would just paste the formula, or well, by default, I can make some selections there. But for now, let's choose paste special. What is it that I want to paste? All, that would be formatting, formulas, everything. I just want to paste the value of what's displayed here. When I choose OK, it shows the same thing. And notice, it's not a formula. It's that actual text. This is a formula. This is text. So now I've cleaned up the text and I've broken it away from any formula that it's based off of. Hopefully you can see reasons that you can just use paste special in your daily work as well. Now, we've got another problem, space problems. We imported this and look at that. It is super messy. We've got all these crazy spaces. So now, let's go ahead and grab the next formula. Again, I know it's in the text area, so I don't have to click my insert function dialog box. I can scroll down. This is the trim formula. The trim formula removes all spaces except for single spaces, so it's not ruining it. It's only cleaning it up. Cell A1, that looks good. Shows me how it's going to look. Okay, look at that. Looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and do that paste special again. I can do a copy, right-click, and do a paste. And when this little button pops up, I want to be sure to choose values only. So again, I've broken it away from its formula. Once it's cleaned up, I can delete all the messy parts. Broken text. This is one cell. This is another cell. Let's go ahead and use that concatenate formula. I'll click in this cell, go back to text, concatenate. Concatenate means you're joining items together, text strings, whatever it is that you want to join together. What am I concatenating? Well, instead of going out there and clicking like I've been doing, I can simply type A1, B1, and then click OK. That looks good, right? Now this is one cell instead of two cells. How am I sure? Well, I can move it. This is the same as a cut and paste. If I just click and drag, notice how my pointer looked like double-sided arrows? So it's all sticking together. It is one entire concatenated group of text. Now how about this? Look at this. Messy, messy, messy. I don't want all this junk in there. All I want is east. All I want out of this is that word east. So I can use a formula called left to do this. Left, because it's at the left side, returns the specified number of characters from the start of a text string left. There is also right, which I could count from right to left to figure out how many, or to extract specific characters. There's also mid. So I would have to know the beginning and the ending position, and that would grab those characters out. I mentioned left. Left, text, cell A1, number of characters. I want east. I happen to know that there are 4 characters in east. Look, it's showing me that. If I did 10, it would be east region. I'll just stick with 4. Okay, now it's east. Fantastic, right? And if I had this in a number of different places, maybe this said west. West has 4 in it as well, and I copied this down. It's going to find it for me. East. What if I change this to north? It's only going to take the first 4 north, so I could, of course, amend that, put a 5 in there. Now it's grabbing the first 5 characters. What if I had tons and tons and tons of data in here? I wanted to see if these were the same, if they had the exact same values or characters in it, and I didn't want to have to do much reading. That's where my exact formula comes in. Exact. Checks whether 2 text strings are exactly the same and returns either a true or false, and it is case sensitive. So text 1 will be cell A1, text 2 will be cell A2. It's showing me already it's going to be false. I choose OK. So it's either going to show true or false, but this is something you can use when you have a large number of text strings. You can't read through them all, and it is of the utmost importance that they are exactly the same. So let's put 2 of these items together. The extracting that we just did and the concatenate. You know how you get social security numbers or credit card numbers? input to you, but you don't want to display that information. Well, we want to extract the last 4 digits of a Social Security number, but we don't want it just to say 1, 2, 3, 4. We also want to concatenate that with just X's. So when people look at it, they know, oh, I got the syntax. I'm just looking at the last 4 of my SOCH. I'm going to just type this from scratch because we already know how to use the function wizard. It's concatenate, concatenate. This is indicating that I spelled it correctly. What do I want to concatenate? Well, text. What text? Just XXX, XX, dash, right? That's the basic symbols. Closing quote, because that's a text string, comma, and I want to do the right function now because I want the right 4 digits, right? This is a function. Cell A2 is where my text is, and then the number of characters I want to count from right to left. That's 4 characters from right to left. I need a closing paren to close off this function, right? And I need a closing paren to close off the overall concatenate function. All right? So equal sign because it's a formula. Concatenate. Concatenate's a function, so everything that I'm concatenating has to go in the outside parentheses. I'm concatenating the text string of X's, so that's why they're in quotes. Simply put a comma after that because that is the syntax. Now I have a different function. I'm extracting the rightmost text from cell A2, just the 4 characters going from right to left. I'll choose enter, and look at that. It worked. Well, there you have it. Your formulas are all up here on the ribbon. You can access them with this function. You can go to the category, or you can even just flat out type them into that cell. You can always copy your formulas to other locations, or you can just paste them special as a value. In this nugget, we really started from scratch, being able to use the auto sum and just typing in the equal sign and using the appropriate operators to come up with the right formula. Of course, we took advantage of the function wizard, the insert function dialog box that really can hold our hand and help us to come up with these outstanding formulas. Not only did we just take a tour of those, but we even went in there and modified strings of text to come up with what we wanted. We also talked about how you can use the paste special function to be able to just paste a value. Instead of having that formula in your spreadsheet, you can then just paste that value off of that formula and reuse that text over and over and over again. Well, I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.